Good evening, everyone. On behalf of City University, Apurva, Project Officer, I take pleasure to welcome Mr. Satyendra Chaudhary, who is CEO, iRise Technology Business Incubator, ISER Mohali. And as a management graduate from IIM Lucknow, he also worked with including Airtel, Tata Teleservice, Videocon, etc. And for the last 7 years, he's been the startup ecosystem and worked with multiple incubators like IARI Delhi, NTIBIF, and TBI ISER Mohali. Currently, with TBI ISER Mohali, incubated 30 plus tech based startups working with different stakeholders. Without any further delay, I hand over this session to you, sir.
Thanks, Apurva. And it's a pleasure to take a session for City University students. I know you guys are doing great, and your efforts in the area of entrepreneurship and promoting a startup ecosystem is quite admirable. So before I start my session, and can I request students to please switch on the video and so that I can see faces because until unless I get to know that there are at least few people or few students are there who are still active for a session, I won't get that much of motivation to present my presentation if I don't see your faces. So if not all are comfortable, at least a few of you are comfortable, please switch on your video. And so that we can make the session interactive also and doesn't feel like I'm talking to the wall. Gurdeep, okay. Hi, Gurdeep. And can I get the brief background of the participants here? They are the students of which batch, and are the engineering students?
Sir, humanities.
Humanities students. And which year? Are
The
the
second.
second year. And what is actually blocking them, or why they are so hesitant to switch on their videos? I don't understand this thing. I think then it's a lot of trouble for these guys to switch on the video. Any which ways, I'll start my presentation. So just let me know if my screen is visible. Apurva, at least you can confirm.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Right, fine, thank you. So as Apurva has mentioned, currently I am leading this iRise, the technology business incubator ISER Mohali. iRise is for raising innovative sustainable enterprises. That's where we support the startups in the field of technology and science. And as she has mentioned, I'm with the startup ecosystem from last few years and so. So with my experience and the learning which I had while working with different incubators and the startups, I'm just sharing the basics of entrepreneurship as well as how do you take your idea forward to convert into a startup. So first, let's understand entrepreneurship, because innovation is fine, but every innovator cannot become a successful entrepreneur or cannot convert into a business venture or a startup unless he understands the entrepreneurship, right? So just by making new invention or having a great idea, you don't automatically become can convert into a startup unless you travel the route of entrepreneurs. And that's what we call entrepreneurship. So what is entrepreneurship? It is actually willingness to take risk, develop, organize, and manage a business venture. So complete management of a business venture. Every stream, every aspect of a business, you need to manage and lead. That's what the entrepreneurship, and obviously it keeps on evolving. You need to adapt accordingly. It's not the one-time process. Once you started eventually become an entrepreneur. You need to keep on doing it. It is a journey that you travel. And obviously there will be ups and downs in the journey. There will be risks and rewards associated with it. So generally, entrepreneur person and the enterprise you create or the venture you create together becomes the entrepreneurship. So there are few risks, and as in startup founder, as a budding entrepreneur, as a young innovator, you should understand those things before proceeding further. You have to work for long hours. Obviously, you need to give your extra inputs. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of job. Income will not be certain. There will be financial ups and downs, and you will be fully responsible for not only your job, but for a whole organization. And obviously, investment is at risk. You need to invest not just your funds or money, but also your time, your resources, your energy. And that's why the returns are very important. And that's why your dedication and persistence required once you can everybody mute, please?
Start video to
Fine. So then there are obviously when there are risks associated, then so are the rewards. You're your own boss. You can decide what you want to do. Yes. So the rewards of starting on enterprise or becoming an entrepreneurship are huge. The only thing is that you need to work on the complete dedication and with persistence. So you're your own boss. You can start what you like. You can create the enterprise, the organization the way you want. And obviously, there's something which you enjoy. That's why you went into this field, right? That's why you have come to that innovation aspect. It gives you freedom to work according to your schedule, salary you can control, and obviously you're giving back to a society. Instead of job seeker, you became the job creator, and thus by enhancing your self-esteem. So there are great rewards in the entrepreneurship journey. But there are certain barriers, right? Like that whenever you want to become an entrepreneur, convert your ideas into reality, there will be certain barriers which you need to cross. One is obviously environmental barriers. Basically, the resources issue. You don't have the raw materials, you don't have the skilled labor, good machinery, infrastructure, lack of fund, other things in place at the very beginning. So that challenge you face initially. Then you have the barriers at a personal level. You are not open to invest your own money. You have the issues of skill set, personality skill sets like the confidence, the motivation, the patience, and the vision set. And finally, the social barriers, regulatory and legal status, custom and tradition. Obviously, still now the people think that entrepreneurship or starting your own startup is a risky thing, and people think you don't have any job, that's why trying into it. And there's a lot of pressure to get into a job. Though the things are changing now, and people are open to the idea of entrepreneurship. So these are the key challenges: financing, team building, being the visionary, dealing with the unknown, loneliness, decision making, rule making. These are challenges that entrepreneurs need to face. And whenever you're trying to convert your idea into reality, these are the things you need to work on. And that's where a role of incubator comes in, a business incubator comes in. And I understand in your university also you have that kind of support system where they provide this initial support to the startups. Now, how do you proceed in a structured format once you start get an idea? So you got an idea. So you need to, the best thing is that you need to write it in detail, have a concept note. Just don't have it in a, like, just to talk about it. Write it down, write it out in detail, do proper research, identify the target markets, identify what can be the customers of your idea or the service or the product that you are envisaging. How does it solve the problems, or exactly what features it would have? And then you need to engage in good domain expertise. When we say good domain and expertise, for example, you're planning some problems related to agriculture, you're planning to solve something related to paddy straw problem, then you need to have an agri expert into it. You need to have an environmental expert into your team, whether as a co-founder or as an advisor or as a mentor. You need to have the domain expert. If you're coming into IT, you need to have the IT expert. If you're into biotech, you need to have the biotech experts and so on. And identify the good market. The size of the market has to be huge. It cannot be a very small problem of few people, or the market could not be small. Otherwise, it's very tough to sustain as a business. So it has to change, disrupt the whole market, and the right time to enter the market. You are not too late or you're not too early. Now, when we say fake it till you make it doesn't mean that you need to have a unscrupulous product or something which is not up to the mark, but it just means that you can always start working on to collect the data from the market, or to get the feedback on the initial MVP, which is minimum viable product, even if your final version is not ready. So you do not always need a final product to validate your idea. It's just for the validation purpose. You can have at the concept level, you can always start taking the feedback from the customers and understand the early requirement and demand of the customer. And accordingly, you can keep on working on the prototype of the customers. And don't wait to have the perfection of the product before launch. Sometimes if they are the specific technical or research based product, you can start launching versions, version 1, version 2, and later on keep on improvising it. And you need to go out and test your idea then. You cannot just sit on your idea and do not share it with everyone. There's a problem with majority of the young people. Sometimes they say their idea is so great and they do not share it with anyone. Until you share it with anyone, you cannot validate, first of all. Secondly, then you cannot identify who can support you. Right? There could be, so start talking about your idea, because it's not about, the idea doesn't have a value. It's just the execution that matters. So you need to define the target audience, start with your network, talking with the people around you, talking with the experts around you, talking with your the faculty in your university. Recognize your ideal customers, start doing customer surveys, doing the literature review, collecting the data. And obviously feel free to share your idea. Asking friends and family is not same as evaluating idea. You need to go with the market. Your friends and family sometimes may not give you the honest feedback, and they may not be your target customers. Also understand, customer can like your product right now, but he may not be able to buy, or he won't buy it. So please understand, you need to have proper research. You need to understand if customers are ready to pay for your product, and if yes, how much, or what kind of customers, what kind of market will have the acceptance of your product and what price point. Then obviously you need to analyze the data, do the analysis, and keep on repeating it. And sell before you build. So once you start understanding the market, selling the concept, or getting the initial client's interest or customer's interest, it helps you to gain confidence. You understand the real customers' problems and helps you test the product. And this helps to design your product in an effective, efficient, time-bound manner. And finally, once you have those validations done, then only you can get the investment. You cannot get investment just by writing idea on a paper and then you ask me, give me the money. Right? So this cartoon of, it's actually of the Dexter Dilbert cartoon, clearly says this. No? So the guy's asking, I have a great idea for a startup company. All I need is a seed investor and engineer to do the work. So that means he says nothing, because engineer will design the product, and the funny investors will invest. So now this is the startup definition as per Government of India. 10 years. Within 10 years, why I'm saying startup definition is Government of India, because as per this definition only you will get certain benefits, or you'll be registered as startup with DIPP. So your company has to be registered in last 10 years only. If it's beyond 10 years, then it moves out of the startup lane. And it should not exceed 100 crores of revenue in any fiscal year. Obviously, it has to be private limited, LLP, or partnership. It cannot be sole proprietorship. An innovation element has to be there. So ultimately, no matter how much you love your idea, there's no point in taking it any further if nobody else is going to love it. So that's where the market validations comes in. But before that, you need to understand how you're going to define your product. उसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है प्रॉब्लम से स्टार्ट करें. Customer problem you need to understand. Sometimes you just develop something and try to force fit it in the market. No, you need to understand the market problem, customer problem first, and then provide the solution. And then you have to focus on two things: features and benefits. There's a difference between features and benefits. So this example of a smartwatch really gives you that thing. Customers are not interested in features. How many of you know a smartphone, what processor it's using, what kind of microchip, what's the motherboard it is using, right? What kind of a screen it is using? These are all the features, but ultimately, what these features are, the customers are deriving the benefits from these features, that is important. So you need Ultra HD screen, you need longer battery life, you need lightweight, faster processor. These are the benefits that a customer associate with the phone, and that's what you look for. Similarly, here you can see the features, your limited numbers, battery, or a gold case, but these are features. But benefits tells time at night if it's limited number. Reliability, right? If it's a battery is there, it will last longer. And gold case, prestige, luxury. And before you further even get into developing business, you need to make a business model canvas. So once you get the idea, you did the proper market study and research, then you have to build a business model canvas. Business model canvas helps to identify feasibility, desirability, and viability. Now, feasibility is the technical or operational aspect, whether you will be able to provide this product or service to a customer. Desirability is like whether the market desires that or not. Is there a need for that or not? And viability is that, is this making business proposition? Can you earn profits and turn out of it? So feasibility has three key aspects: key partners, key activities, and key resources. So you have the resources, you have the partners who can help you make the product or service, and the activities that you can do. Desirability, what value proposition you are giving to a customer, what kind of customer relationships you are having, what channels, what's your distribution segment, and the customer segment. And viability, obviously, your cost and the revenue, and net how much profit you are getting. So if you make this business model canvas for any of your idea and innovation, it gives you a clear picture in one sheet whether you need to go forward with it or not, or what are the challenges that you're facing in each section we need to work on. So these are the components of business model canvas: key partners, key activities, value proposition, customer relation, customer segment, key resource, distribution channel, cost structure, and revenue stream. It's the same, it is coming from the same slide. So key partners, who are your key suppliers, your key vendors, your it could be your even academic institute or the research support that they are providing. What kind of partnerships you are having? Is it they are part of the company, or you are sharing the revenue, or you are paying them? So those key partners which can continuously provide you the support system. And the key activities: what's the value proposition? Will you be making product, processing a product? Are you providing a service? Will it require a procurement or customer relationship? How you earn the revenue? What are the core values that you want to deliver to the customer? Or, as we discussed, what benefits customer can achieve from your product or service? Then you have to, how are you going to engage the customer? How do you get the continuous demand of your product? And which classes are you creating? Which are the target customers? Where is your market? Who is your most important customer? And key resources, we have discussed this thing, the distribution channel. As how do you want to reach the customer? How cost effective it is, whether it will be online channel through modern retail outlets, it will be door to door, it will be MLM channel, it will be franchisee model. How are the best cost effective fashion you're going to reach to the customer, also in a convenient manner. The cost structure, you need to attain the cost leadership whenever you're starting a new business. Like, you need to perform that task in the best possible, lowest cost possible, so that you can deliver the best value to the customer, because you don't have any other advantage, you don't have the brand advantage as of now. And the revenue streams, how can I earn the revenue? What are the sources? Is it your margins are involved in it? What is the unit economics coming out of your business? Is it making even sense, whether it will be profitable, or it is just like you're gonna lose money in this? You may earn the customers, but the money may not come to you in a profitable fashion. Now the important questions. We have all studied this, we have all the studies model, but why the startups fail? Ideally, I would have liked this put this question to the audience here, but I don't know how many of you are active. So still, if someone wanna answer and give me some talking points, like, and what's your understanding? Why do you think startups fail? Like, we all have heard that 90% of the startup fail. Some say 95% of the startups fail. So can anyone tell me why do startups fail? If anyone is active here in the audience. I'll wait for a minute. Okay. Due to partnership. Okay. Anyone else want to write here? Any other thought, any other input? Whatever comes to your mind, like, and whatever your understanding is. So, not prepare any business plan. Okay. So we are getting two reasons. Business plan is not prepared, and second is saying due to partnership. That is the issues with the founders and team, right? That's what I understand. Okay. Now let's understand what the survey says and what is the reality. The reality is more than 40% of the startups fail because there is no demand in the market. That's what I've been talking from the very beginning. There is no problem exists. You're not providing the solution which customer is actually seeking. We just created the product, but we don't know whether there's a market or not. So there is no market need. Obviously, there are other reasons. If you see, funding is another important reason. They don't have the enough cash and not the right team, as Simran has mentioned, the partnership. And I would say then another person mentioned about the business plan. So we have need or lack of business model as well. Also one of the reasons, 17% of the startups fail because of that. So now you see but the major reason you still see that market is not there. So you need to do complete market research. You need to understand your customer and their requirement even before conceptualizing your idea, so that you save on time on resources. Again here, Y Combinator, I'm sure you must have heard of. Y Combinator is one of the world's best startup accelerator based out of US. And many of the Indian startups have also come out from the Y Combinator. Its founder, Paul Graham, also says there's just one mistake that kills a startup, not making something users want. If you want something users want, you'll probably find whatever else you do or don't do. And if you don't make something users want, then you're dead, whatever else you do or don't do. So the point here is, please understand your market, understand the customer's problem, and keep him in the center. Whether you design the product, whether you transfer it to making business. And same Anderson Horowitz, Mark Anderson, a great marketeer, right? He has also mentioned when there isn't a market, the quality of the team and product don't matter. So even if your team is not working properly, even if you have the issues, little issues with your product, it could still work if there is need, right? That's how overall worked initially. They have a lot of issues. Still, they have a lot of issues. Still, you have problems with the delays in the cars coming, cancellation problems, right? Peak charges. But again, they're doing fine because there's a market need for that. So you need to have a proper product market fit. So number one reason, as we mentioned, there is no market need or proper product market fit is not there. So in an ideal world, product market fit means getting the right product in the right package for the right user at the right time. So we discussed these things in the BMC. So these all things can come from the BMC model, business model canvas, which I explained. Desirability, viability, and feasibility. Where all these three things are made, that's where the product market fit is there. I'll again repeat it. Desirability is large market of people who really need this problem to be solved. Viability, a confirmed business model that can make the company real money. And feasibility, a product that you have been able to actually build that properly solves the problem. Huge market opportunity, effective solution, and a business model that can help you make money. So that's where these all three meet. That's where you have got the product market fit. So products are created for users, but not everyone is your target user. So you need to define your target user and accordingly plan. Validating the customer problem. So that's you need to do the proper market research, including secondary and the primary sources. You can do the literature review. You can take use of the market research agency. You can do it through your using surveys, through customer interactions, through focus group discussion, through in-depth, and through whatever tool you want to use. But you need to keep on understanding the customer. You need to go out in the market, observe the buying behavior of the customers. And then you can do user interviews, surveys, FGDs, focus group discussion, the primary form. Secondly, you can use different literatures, either through Google or through experts, or through articles, research articles, or market research, and report. And then you can define a user persona. What is his demographics? What he or she does? What's his gender? What's the age group we are targeting? What's the income group we are looking forward to? What's his lifestyle? Right? What's his routine? What influences his decision? What is more important for him? Price, convenience, taste, if it's eatable, right? And so on and so forth. So you need to define, if you see the demographic and behavioral entities, both you need to consider. And you can always test the market. How? Just create pages. Even if you don't have the product, create the virtual product pages and see how many people are interested in those pages, how many requests have come to you. You can have user interviews discussed, or you can have an MVP or a small prototype and then see what's the acceptance of that product in the market. From one product to another product. So there could be 3 criteria. Your hypothesis could be that your product works fine, right? Real users accepting that your product. So you can move to the customer validation stage and you have a problem solution. Other could be you were partially wrong. There were some issues with the product and services which could be corrected, which could be improvised. So you need to adjust. But there could be chances your hypothesis is totally wrong. Customers don't accept your product. There is no need of your product. There could be not the right price. It's not the right solution. It's not the right charge whatsoever. It is what customers are accepting. So there's no market acceptance, and then it's better to pivot or shift to other product. So these are the startup hubs in India. So if you are trying to get into or scaling up your startups or the idea, once you are here, like in your university, you pass out, then try to get enrolled in incubators and accelerators to scale up your product, or and then go into the startup hubs where you get the right set of mentors, the proper ecosystem. So Chandigarh is also one of the emerging startup hubs now, and along with Jaipur and the other tier 2 towns. But yes, majorly Delhi NCR and Bangalore are the startup hubs in India. In fact, Delhi NCR has now more startups. Earlier, Bangalore was the startup capital of India. So with this, I think I'll end my presentation. The best entrepreneurs are not the best visionaries. The greatest entrepreneurs are incredible salespeople. They know how to tell an amazing story that will convince 10 investors to join in on the journey. So, do we have any questions, or anyone wants to interact further?
Sir, my question is that basically in startup, what happens is when we have a startup, we have the idea, we have the production, but there are certain things that happen during that time where, we don't get the success that we expect it to have. So like, how do we make sure that whatever our plan is has that success and goes accordingly?
So that's why if you have gone through my presentation, I have listed down the points where you need to, how do you take a journey from idea to make a product, and then how do you validate that product? Okay, so that is one thing. First, you need to have the product market fit. So if you have product market fit, everything will fall in place. If you get the right product market fit, then you will get the ecosystem to support you. You will get the incubation facility, you will the accelerators to come up and support you. And from the funding side, you have many government grants initially. There are many government grants available for the early stage startups, ranging even starting from 1 lakh going up to 50 lakhs. The Startup Punjab also has seed support grant up to 3 lakhs. Startup India seed funding has grant up to 50 lakhs. BARAC has up to 50 lakhs, and so on and so forth. So the point here is major concern. The two major concerns which I discussed about the startup phase is the marketing issue. The second is the funding issue. If these two issues are sorted, then it totally depends on the team, how persistent they are, and what they do. So that's not it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Do you have any further questions? Abura, I think we don't have any further questions. Shall we end the session?
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for the information you have provided our students. The session was very wonderful, and I request IT Cell to please show a word of appreciation to the sir. So once again, thank you very much students. And this award of appreciation I am going to share with you via email too.
Thank you, Apurva and team, and whole City University team, and all the best to the students. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.